maybe we can reach out to Warner Brothers Games for those super chats because, well, I'll tell you what, maybe not. They're in trouble. Warner Brothers Games is all over the place, and Warner Brothers as a just Warner Brothers Discovery as an entire entity is going through all of the ish right here. Now, this is actually kind of personal to me, and I'll explain why here in a little bit. But first, Warner Brothers Games is restructuring development into Game of Thrones, Harry Potter, and Mortal Kombat and DC Universe divisions here. Blabs, you pulled this story out and you found this very, very interesting.
I just think it's hilarious because if you've paid attention, the year of 2024 was a complete and colossal failure for Warner Brothers Games. Every single game that they've put out there flopped, and I'm not talking like a baby flop. I'm talking hundreds of millions of dollars flop, at least 400 million minimum. So for them to be like, we're going to focus on these when, first of all, one of your last games that came out was a Harry Potter game, and it flopped beyond belief to the fact there's like maybe 30 people playing the last time I checked that game. Like, hello. Yeah, none of this sounds any good to me. And the fact that they can't even think of anything original and they're just going to focus on 4 little franchises to me sounds insane.
Well, things have not gone very well for the company as a whole. Now, we talk about like inflated executives, salaries and such, and the amount of money that these guys make to run these companies. And look, these are multi-billion-dollar companies. They're making money. It's just a matter of how much money that they make. And Warner Brothers Discovery, as I said, this is fairly personal to me because when I sold my company to a company called Fullscreen, they were then acquired by Warner Brothers. So somewhere the pantheon, I have a pretty good idea like where my company is now, or like my first company was, but the assets and all that stuff were in fact owned by Warner Brothers Discovery. So it was a grain of sand on a vast ocean of content, right? Not that big a deal. But what is interesting is that Warner Brothers Discovery was doing so poorly that their CEO David Zaslav pay got cut by the after shareholder backlash. Now, he was making $22 million a year, the CEO of Warner Brothers Discovery. And his salary got shrunk to only $6 million, going from $22 million to $6 million. Now, Cecil, I know Cecil. I'm sure that you feel immense sadness for David Zaslav, and you're probably asking, how can he survive?
Oh God, yeah. I mean, everybody just hope that he can go get some unemployment checks because he clearly is not going to be able to afford food, making only $6 million a year.
It's rough.
He's probably and the thing is too, he probably has all kinds of investments and whatnot. He's still making money elsewhere. So so it's 6 million. Yeah, that sucks. Most of us are not going to make that in our entire lifetime, and that guy makes it in a year for failing.
Right.
He did a terrible job. Well, you did such a bad job. We're still going to pay you $6 million.
And the stock bonus on top of that shrinking. So he went from potentially generating making $45.5 million a year to only potentially $13.5 million as the stocks going from 23 million to 7 million here. Blabs, if somebody was to offer you $6 million, what would you do with that money?
Well, what's the deal here? They're just giving me $6 million just for shits and giggles, like here?
Okay, what if they said this? Blabs, I'm gonna give you $6 million. But you owe me. And the idea is that they go, you owe me. You don't know when and you don't know what, but sometime in your life, you owe me.
No.
$6 million.
No, that could mean like I have to go and like assassinate someone.
Yeah.
No thanks.
Yeah.
No thanks. I've seen enough animes.
What about you, Cecil? What if you just get the open, you owe me?
I don't know. I might go for it. That's a lot of money to. I mean, but the thing is, okay, you would be able to pay off a lot of things, but at the same time, they would always be thinking, okay, when's the shoe going to drop? When am I going to have to do whatever it is I have to do? But so I don't know. It's one of those weird hypotheticals. I don't know.
This is also true. Yeah. You may owe $7 million back.
You may owe. Oh, Jesus. Yeah,
that's true. That's true. Well, continuing on with the story, and another little branch from this is that apparently, bringing it back to potentially video games here, Sony is reportedly interested in potentially acquiring Warner Brothers streaming and studios, which would include HBO Max, gaming assets of, once again, Harry Potter, Game of Thrones, and the DC Comics, and various other IPs here. So
this actually doesn't surprise me because Harry Potter has worked with Sony. They have had a partnership with Sony in the past. So,
well, yeah,
I wouldn't say absolutely not, but I wouldn't also say absolutely yes. But depending on what kind of agreement they do, possibly.
Sony's been doing a lot of really stupid things lately.
That's also true. So they might just do it.
Well, they might just do it. Yeah, but the whole thing is, I don't know. Like, if Sony ends up buying Warner Brothers, is anything going to get better? Is it? No. Or they just get? I mean, remember, this is the company that thought that Madam Web was a good idea.
Right.
So, and the whole, Craven and all, like, so they really wanted to push that. So I could see them acquiring Warner Brothers and then just being like, all right, well, now we're going to reboot everything under the Warner Brothers label, or I'm sorry, under the Sony label, and make it all suck, with saying Sony in front of it instead of Warner Brothers in front of it.
Yeah, I what you see oftentimes with a lot of these companies is exactly what happened with Warner Brothers and Discovery when they merged. Was, hey, we got to come together. We got to do this. Let's make this thing happen. And then they it goes through all the process of making it happen. It's officially brought together, and then they kind of look at each other and they go, okay, so what do you want to do? And then they go, what? I thought you had ideas. Like this idea of merging as fast as possible. Like I said, I was shocked when I sold Screw Attack, and the company that acquired us, like, we sat down after everything was official, and they're like, so then they go, so what do you want to do? And I was like, what? I was like, I thought you acquired us so we could, like, you didn't have any ideas on how to use us at all. All right, sounds good. But yeah, it's amazing. So. Well, we'll see what happens with Warner Brothers Discovery, and if Sony will be the new overlord and continuing to add to their catalog of IPs and everything that goes along there. And maybe it trickles down to the PlayStation 6 or 7 or
20. I'll clarify real fast because chat was getting really confused when I said the latest Harry Potter game flopped. A lot of people don't know that a game came out last year called Quidditch Champions. I'm not talking about Hogwarts Legacy. Obviously, that was a success. It's their last success for Warner Brothers game. So clarification. There you go.
Wasn't the Quidditch Legacy one the cover is like Harry Potter is like the third character?
Yeah. So Quidditch Champions literally has like the black chick in front of Harry and Draco Malfoy.
Yeah, and
it looks like Fortnite. I did a whole deep dive on it, dude. This thing is like the biggest L.
It's so stupid. I don't understand. Like, you have an IP and you push the important parts of the IP. Like, that's just business.
There's pronouns in that game. There's so many things wrong with this game, including the fact that a lot of people don't even realize this. This was co-developed by the people who made Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League.
Oh, well,
a lot of people don't realize this. I did a huge deep dive. You guys should check it out on my channel. It's like 20 minutes long. It's nuts, the shit that I found out about this game. What?
I just think that it's ridiculous going back to Warner Brothers, showing like what Craig said, where these people have no idea what they're doing. They put out HBO Max, HBO being the huge name in entertainment, and then Max being their subsidiary. And the fact that they went through, I think, 6 revisions where it was like HBO Max, and they kept, HBO Go, and then they just made it Max. And then they went back to HBO Max. it's like over the course of just a couple of years.
Oh yeah, they have no idea what they're doing.
It creates brand confusion.
Yep.
It's stupid.
It's a waste of
And
money.
it's a huge waste of money and time. And now they're kind of suffering at the end of this, where they, where now they're in the position where they might actually be sold. It's really, really dumb.
The best thing that came from them with their constant rebranding is all the memes. Did you see like the whole Rachel and Ross? They were like, "We are on a break," because they keep swapping their name, and then it's like Ron on the chess piece, and he's like, "It's not me that has to go on," and it's like, "Not Hermione, it's you," and it says like HBO Max, like you have to go, and it's like rebranding again and again. It's insane. It's a huge waste of resource, time, money, everything. So they don't really know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Shout out WB.
I think that's the most amazing thing about all this is that these companies are just run by humans, and humans are really fucking dumb.
Some of them are, yeah.
I don't know. I think that it just seems that time and time again, there are these huge, giant, boneheaded decisions where your average guy working, could be like, wait, why would they do that? That's really dumb. Like, you mean to tell me that a whole boardroom filled with people who are getting paid millions of dollars couldn't see that this was going to be the end outcome? That, that dumping all this money into broken, stupid IPs, things that nobody wanted, consistently changing your app into different names, that this wasn't going to create a huge problem down the road. Anybody could see this happening, and somehow they just don't, or they're so blinded that they just make really terrible decisions because they know at the end of the day, all right, what's going to happen? Oh, I'm going to get fired. Am I still going to get paid millions of dollars? Oh yeah, you'll get paid millions of dollars, and you'll get like a nice little bonus package, and you can go to another company and screw them up.
It's nuts. I've been saying this for a while now. I think Warner Brothers is actually dumber than Disney.
Yeah.
At least Disney managed to do the MCU. Warner Brothers couldn't even do the DC universe properly. They keep restarting it.
Yeah, Disney at least they seem to have a plan for a while, and then the plan went out the window. And
the plan is there is no plan.
Yeah, well, that was the thing. Well, they had a really good plan in the beginning where they were like, "This is our 10-year plan. This is the more." They had the whole cinematic universe mapped down. They had all kinds of other stuff, and then somewhere along the lines, they made so much money that they just said, "All right, we can do whatever we want." And then they're like, "Oh wait, no, we're not making money anymore. We need a plan again."
Exactly. The world of gaming on Rumble says the battle of the retards is true. It's like, which two idiotic companies is worse?
There's a lot of truth in that, man. A lot of truth in that. I got another video for you right here for you to check out.